Welcome to Chapter 13 of the Gunman Chronicles walkthrough. We're just leaving our crash site to explore a planet of brown canyons, fir trees, giant dinosaur skeletons, scorpions, and cacti. This is definitely a place modeled after the American Southwest, although I get the impression that it was probably cobbled together from reference material as opposed to first-hand experience, just based on my understanding of the habitats that fir trees and cacti do well in. I could be wrong. Oh, I had it, and then I lost it. This is a kind of an annoying jump to make because if you try and jump up going on a downslope in Half-Life, it almost never works. But jumping up the upslope here, you get stuck for some reason that I don't quite understand. Come on. I need you as a distraction, so we can show our next opponent in action a bit. Because raptors hate scorpions. And we're not huge fans of raptors, especially ones with little cameras with antennas stuck to the side of their heads. Yep, can't go that way for all the boulders.
Base says that a meteor landed around here somewhere, but it sure didn't sound like a meteor to me.
And that's because it was a ship, not a meteor. These guys are kind of annoying because they are very accurate with their little pistols. But the nice thing about them is that because they each carry 2 pistols, they can fill you up on ammunition almost instantly. Nice cache here. And speaking of weaponry, here is the Mule rocket launcher. The Mule rocket launcher has a whole bunch of different settings. Launch when fired or when targeted. Guided or homing. Guided is using the red laser dot like the standard Half-Life rocket launcher, but homing can be nice if you're using the targeted setting. Detonate on impact, or in proximity, or timed, which basically turns this into a grenade launcher, or when tripped, which turns this into a trip mine launcher, which is, you know, kind of an interesting concept. You don't see that in many games, and of course the same payloads. Essentially, we were using the grenades straight up before, which were the rockets for this. As you can see, when you first select the grenade, you pull off a nose cone and take it out of the rocket casing, but we can use it as it was intended here. Now, these gunmen were busy manning the station, which has 2 live raptors being monitored, and the one that we killed earlier. And as you can see, it does keep track of the raptors that are attached to it in basically real time. And we can use the dynamite that they left us to take out the barrier that was preventing our forward progress. And of course, it does give you a little bit more foreshadowing. There was obviously a 3rd raptor on the scope. So there's the 3rd raptor. I can't tell you how many takes I ruined because I blew the head off of the first raptor. And one more new weapon. I mean, the new weapons are coming fast and furious now. Let me handle that guy. Alright. And this is a new attachment for the pistol. A sniper attachment. Now, not having an alt-fire button, the alt-fire button being used instead for configuring weapons, there's a different mechanism for the Gunman Chronicles one. You hold down the fire button, and it zooms in. Release the fire button. Oh, well, once you get a nice clean shot. Eyeballs. None of that. Ow.
All targets eliminated. Excellent.
And when I say eyeballs, I'm not just making jokes. Sometimes when you shoot their heads off, you will actually find eyeballs scattered around, much like Fallout 3. As mentioned before, the mainframe AI is still with us. And will actually prove a fairly useful companion in a few seconds. Well, less than a minute, I'd say. I like these two big Nautilus shells, fossilized.
Ambush. Airborne vehicle approaching.
Yep, and she ain't kidding. We've got the mule set up for homing attacks, but it's best to find cover because that helicopter can chew you up very quickly. It's basically just like a standard Half-Life helicopter. Go. And kerblooey. Excellent. Looks like one of the pieces got stuck in the sky out there. You can still see it smoking. But yeah, it's definitely better to use the rockets on impact. I've tried in proximity before, and it takes a lot of them to knock that guy down. It took us only 3. I think it takes twice as many when you're using proximity. But now we have to do something of a Half-Life staple. Dead scorpions. I think this helicopter starts off by shooting those scorpions. That delays it a little bit, so it takes a while to get to you. Can't go that way, or can, but too painful. Yep, the walk button gets a lot of use here. Oh yeah, you can actually see there's birds that fly down below where these cliffs are. I always find it somewhat disconcerting to look down and see birds. Well, at least when I'm, not in a plane. Here you can see we've got more of the grasshoppers that we saw earlier. I mean, in the very first PlanetSide installment. Yep. Unfortunately, you really can't get through here without stepping on a few of them. Yikes. That's just health. We don't really need health that badly, but it doesn't look like we have any other way to go. Okay, suicidal grasshopper, apparently. I think this will take us to a loading screen pretty soon now. Ah! And stay down. They're definitely ready for us down there, though, so we'll save whatever ambush they've got planned for the next installment.